A truck loaded with fuel crashes and burns in the middle of I-25. The driver jumping out to escape the flames. The efforts on the rush to save his life.
A bunch of the vehicle fuel was spilling out and fire just shot across the road.
They saw it right outside their windshields. Witnesses described the moment a crash turned into a fireball.
And as we drove past, things were exploding and coming off of the truck.
Traffic on the interstate comes to a standstill for hours. Thousands of drivers ducking off on side streets to find a detour. Plus, the latest on the shooting of a carjacking suspect by a deputy and the search for two suspects still on the run.
If you wanted to create a mess that would impact nearly every family in the Denver metro area, we now know exactly how you would do it. You would flip a tanker truck in the middle of northbound I-25 and unleash a series of subsequent explosions and fires that would shut down that interstate for 6 hours and counting now. They still have not gotten this tanker truck to the point where they believe that it is safe for it to be moved off of the interstate, and only then will they understand what is beneath the damage down there. A CDOT employee who happens to be a next viewer on the nights he's not working overtime on an interstate that caught fire tells me that this could have melted down 16 inches of asphalt that they will have to cut away, strip away, and re-pour overnight. The barrier separating northbound and southbound will have to be cut away, the concrete re-poured. If you're saying to yourself that sounds like an awful lot of work to get done in an overnight, well, the fact is, it is an awful lot of work, and he was unsure whether they could do it. CDOT is hopeful that the interstate will be reopened for tomorrow's massive morning rush hour by at least 8 a.m., but that is a moving target as they have waited hours to get access to the site as firefighters have continued to work on it today. In just a moment, I'll be joined live by CDOT's Executive Director, Shaylin Batt, who will be able to tell me a bit more about how things will play out in the next couple of hours. We have video for you of the driver of that tanker truck, the only person injured in today's incident, getting out of the tanker truck. That person was able to get immediate medical attention, thanks in part to a CDOT worker who happened to be nearby. We will talk about that in just a moment. All indications are that the truck driver is going to be okay. Let's bring in CDOT's Executive Director, Shaylin Batt, now to talk about what happened here today. First off, the question that everybody has, best timetable for reopening all of northbound and southbound.
Yeah, so as you can see, we've got 3 lanes open on southbound. We've got 2 lanes close to the investigation and the repair. Northbound, we have 5 lanes. As you can see, that truck is actually melted down into the pavement, and we've been waiting for it to get to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Fire department just told us that it's there. We're going to put some foam in the tank, take that vehicle, get it off, start the assessments. Our crews have been waiting to go for a few hours now. We've got a contractor on site. We're going to crank through the night, hope to get it open in the morning.
Bottom line, if somebody takes I-25 in the morning, should they be making other plans tonight?
I think they need to check in with our website, Your News Service, in the morning. It would be good to hope for the best and plan for the worst and check out alternative routes.
Tell me about the CDOT maintenance worker who happened to be one of the first on scene to help that truck driver out.
Yeah, pretty fortuitous that one of our, 2 of our maintenance workers just happened to be out on patrol, came upon the crash almost immediately afterwards, and were able to render assistance to the driver, who was in a pretty bad state at that point. So we're grateful that they were there, and we always say our job is to save lives and make people's lives better, and I think that's a great example of it.
Middle of I-25.
To get a video like this,
oh my goodness,
means you're too close.
Here's basically where we were.
Gavin Lancey knows because he was in one of the first cars stopped on the southbound side of I-25.
A bunch of the vehicle fuel was spilling out and the fire just shot across the road.
Even after backing up,
Couldn't really go anywhere because there was a million cars behind us.
he was only around 100 yards away.
Explosions happening. Oh, there's another one. Didn't know if there was debris coming or shrapnel.
My son and I, we were leaving the gym.
Joy Hyatt says there was.
As we drove past, things were exploding and coming off of the truck.
She was there before firefighters.
All of us, we were just kind of like, what do we do? And we all just slowly made our way to the right, as far right as we could.
Oh my God, that person.
A witness recorded the driver jumping from the truck just as it started to ignite. A CDOT crew happened to be there to help him get away. A Metro Care ambulance also happened to be passing through the area and took him to the hospital.
The flame symbol for a fuel tanker, I could see that it was that, and I thought, oh my gosh.
Their shock captured in a way they never imagined.
Explosions happening. Oh, there's another one.
Well, it was a long day for a lot of the crews that were out on that scene. We reached out to South Metro Fire, and the spokesperson there tells us there were about 76 personnel on hand for 8 hours yesterday. They were from several departments, including Denver Fire, Cunningham, Littleton, and South Metro. About 1,600 feet of supply hose was used to put out that tanker fire. Normally on a call, they use about 300 feet. South Metro Fire says 500 pounds of chemical powder was used to put out the flames, in addition to nearly 600 gallons of foam and 10,000 gallons of water. Before all that, the day didn't start too well in the South Metro area. Sheriff's deputies shot a person in Centennial after a carjacking. They are still looking for a man and woman they believe are involved. This happened around 5 this morning in Arapahoe County. Deputies were called to Broncos Parkway and Jordan Road for that carjacking. A deputy tried to stop the car, but they say it sped away, eventually ran into another deputy's patrol car. 5 suspects inside that car took off running. Deputies shot one of them, who allegedly had a weapon. That person went to the hospital. A girl under 18 was taken into custody, and Denver police arrested one more suspect near a light rail station, leaving 2 at large. Arapahoe County officials say the carjacking victim was not physically hurt. This shut down all kinds of roads in that area for the whole morning rush hour, but the closures were all lifted around noon.
Hours before a murder along Boulder's Pearl Street Mall, a text accidentally sent to the wrong person started a chain of events that ended in a man's death. Police say the trouble started when the host of a house party accidentally invited a former lover. Tensions eventually led to 8 gunshots outside of a restaurant. 9 News reporter Dan Grossman brings us new information about what happened on Sunday night.
It was a situation that could have been avoided had it not been for a mistaken text message. The night started at a house party and ended here at Bramble and Hare on Pearl Street just after midnight. Police say 32-year-old Louis Sebastian shot and killed 49-year-old Christopher King after an argument broke out at dinner. The affidavit says Sebastian was being aggressive in trying to win over Leah Aiken, a woman who King used to, quote, hook up with. The tensions erupted into a fight when the table's bill came and the group was $100 short. Witnesses say the men went outside to fight and immediately heard gunshots. They saw King on the ground crawling back into the restaurant, pleading for Sebastian to stop. That's when witnesses say Sebastian unloaded one final round into his chest. Sebastian was disarmed by the restaurant's cook and manager, who held him in a headlock until police arrived. Today, Sebastian was charged with first-degree murder and is being held without bond. In Boulder, Dan Grossman, 9 News.
The Highway to the Sky took a little longer to open this year. After several feet of snow in May, it took plow drivers longer to clear the drifts of up to 14 feet of America's highest continuous road. They finished the job yesterday. 9 News reporter Anusha Roy and photojournalist Corky Scholl went to take a look.
It opened just in time
before I start actually working in the real world. I decided to come see some more of the world.
For a first-time look.
Flat, all flat. nothing like this.
Today, the Lunsfords were standing at around 11,000 feet.
I was sort of speechless, when we got up here.
Catching a tiny snapshot of the 48-mile-long Trail Ridge Road. The temperature dropped 10 degrees in 5 minutes.
It's like nothing you can find anywhere else in the country.
As the road climbed deeper into the Rockies, ultimately reaching more than 12,000 feet, making it the highest continuous paved road in the country.
I don't know how they do it, but whatever they did on those roads to get this open, we're really grateful for that. So
the road usually opens Memorial Day weekend, but evidence of the last snowstorm still stands tall, and opening day was pushed back to yesterday.
Oh, that's good.
It comes with a word of caution to be prepared. As the snow melts, it can freeze again. A warning from the park, well aware visitors are already on the road.
The view. You cannot beat the view.
In Rocky Mountain National Park, Anusha Roy, 9 News.